Hey guys, hey guys, hey guys, hey, 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 hey. Hello, foodie booties. Hey everybody, it's me, Zach. This is Judy, and welcome back to our channel. Today we are going to be talking about everybody's favorite modest bald bigot, Chantal Marie, Chantal Show, Foodie Booty, Flabby Bobby, Big Beautiful Me, The Daily Chantal, The Chantal Monthly, Chantopolis, whoever, whatever. Our girl Chantal, happily married in Kuwait with her bestie, her boo, her husband, Salah. And if y'all didn't see, yesterday I posted just a video doing a quick rant to try to catch up on all of the nonsense happening in Foodie Booty's life. And when I say nonsense, I mean it's the same nonsense that was happening in Canada as is the nonsense that is happening in Kuwait. The only thing that has changed is the location, okay? And so I made this video and I mostly just ranted. It was like a 23-minute long video and all I did was just rant about all the stupid shit going on. I encourage you to watch it because, I mean, obviously I encourage you to watch all of my videos because I'm very funny and it's also how I make money. But if you didn't know, like, maybe only the last 2 minutes of this whole entire video were dedicated to me just quickly saying, because this was happening as I was filming it, okay? As I was filming that video, she had just started this like music live stream where Salah was playing the piano, okay? And she showed a shot of the studio apartment that she is living in with Salah. And then, of course, I did, you know, I did make a title I thought people would click on, which was calling it Chantal is miserable in a closet. I guess that did something to our blushing bride because this morning I had the joy, the honor, the privilege of waking up to several people tagging me and talking about the community post Chantal made sometime while I was asleep. I don't know necessarily what the time zone difference is, so I hesitate to say like while I was sleeping and she was awake, because it was probably maybe normal Kuwait hours to be awake. I'm not really entirely sure. But while I was personally sleeping, while I was getting this beauty rest, I don't know if you've looked at me lately, but she's kind of cute. While I was getting my beauty rest, she was raging. So let me just do another dramatic reading of a Chantal Marie Foodie Booty, Flabby Bobby community tab post starring and featuring me, Zachary Michael. All right, are you ready? Let's get to. Hey, Zachary Michael, when did I ever call anyone's place while here a luxury apartment? So you're home shaming now? And my comments in defense of myself over someone who has been bullying me for years is nothing in comparison. So it makes it okay because I made one Motel 6 comment after, again, being shamed on my living conditions, living with severe depression and being in an abusive relationship for a year and more. Your generic YouTuber background isn't any more fascinating, nor is your continued prison-bred personality. You have a voice on YouTube and it is a shame that you use your whiny, bored teenager emo kid voice to spread shame and hate online at the expense of a few individuals. Oh, and before you say that I have a voice too, yeah, I do, and I'm calling you out on your crap, just like you pick apart my life. I've always been myself, and I'm not a supposed critic. So no, my voice doesn't have the same reach. Which, just real quick, like, yeah, your voice doesn't have the same reach because you struggle to get 15,000 views on a live stream, and most of my videos reach 60 to 70,000 views per video. So you're probably right. We don't have quite the same reach, so let me amplify your voice a little bit more. How about that, Chantal? But in all seriousness, I want to break down this community post because it's really such a gag. It's really so goofy. You know, she is in the running for the leading role of Goofy Movie, the reboot. Like, her and Amber Lynn, they're right there together. It's a neck and neck race right now. And before I say any of the other things that I'm gonna say about this community tab post, let me just be very clear in setting the record straight that I could see if you didn't watch any of my video and you just based it on the thumbnail and the title of the video alone, that you might be like, oh wow, Zach must hate poor people who can't afford nice houses or whatever it is that Chantal and or others think. But if you watch the video, it's very clear that that's not what I think, how I feel, and that if that was the way you interpreted the title of my video, that you willingly interpret it incorrectly. I even take time in the video that I had yesterday where I talked about this to say that I myself lived in a studio apartment once upon a time here in Chicago, okay? It's nothing to be ashamed of. That year of living in a studio was a great experience. I have no qualms about it. It was a great space in between times when I wasn't sure what my income and things like that were gonna look like. So there's no shade here. I think all kinds of people live very happy lives in all kinds of different homes, home environments, and situations and types of deals. Now, what I did say is that Chantal has clearly been deceptive about how she's presented her experience with Sala and what she was expecting to get out of Sala and what has actually happened. Now, I do want to say, in rereading it several times to prepare to give you this great monologue experience here on my channel, I did realize after reading it more than just once that she emphasized while here. As in, while here, I've not referenced this as a luxury apartment. And I think that clarification is important because when I was going back to look through all of the clips that I remembered her saying that he had like a nice place and this, that, the other, they did all happen prior to Chantal showing up in Kuwait.
He wants to buy me a ticket to come like in 2 weeks to like buy a ring. He has like a really, he wants to like just me to move in his house in like Kuwait for like a month. He wants to buy me a ticket for a month to go to his house. You don't have to, when you get here, you don't have to worry about anything. You live here, you don't have to worry about driving. I have a car, you don't have to worry about, like, the men in that culture take care of everything. And you know what? I fucking love that. That's the thing. This man is very, very smart, has a very good job, makes good money, has his own place, has a good, nice car, drives very well, is very confident. I like the way he's very, oh, and looks-wise, he's perfect. He's an Adonis body, like, well, he's gonna pay for me to go there. Like, he wants to fully take care of me as his wife. Like, fully. That kind of appeals to me. I'm gonna be in so much shit. I think I accidentally doxed him because I think whenever I said where he's from, I told him not to. No, I didn't. We chat like for hours all night. I've never had conversation like that with someone. Speaks very fluent English. Has a nice place. He looks like a younger Tony and he has the same red lights.
So Chantal, I'm very sorry your expectations weren't met. And you know what? I can also take the L. Like, I can't seem to find any of the clips that I thought that existed where you specifically said that you were moving into a luxury apartment. Perhaps I'm getting confused with the totally real, not fake at all mansion that you and Pete's were supposed to move into right before you just got up and flew to Kuwait. But please, please, let's not pretend that you haven't been presenting Sala as this, like, rich maven, business tycoon, was gonna help you get into a whole bunch of other income avenues and revenues and things like that. And let's also not pretend that it wasn't intentional, that you didn't show his apartment up until that little kindergarten talent show that y'all did on your channel where he played Yankee Doodle Dandy.
All right, yes, you might see little bits of the apartment, but it's okay.
And honestly, you should feel lucky that I recorded that video while he was playing Yankee Doodle Dandy, because that video I posted yesterday would have also included me roasting his ass for playing Yankee Doodle as though he was some kind of professional piano player. But yeah, I do believe that if you weren't a little bit insecure about all the lies you've been telling about how you've been living in Kuwait, that you would have shown his apartment a lot sooner. Don't give me this modesty crap, don't give me this privacy crap, because they obviously don't care about modesty or privacy since you did in fact show the apartment on that stream. So don't give me that as an excuse for why you didn't show it sooner. You didn't show it sooner because you're insecure about where you're living right now, which is on you, not me, bestie. I don't have any insecurities about where I am living or have lived in the past. And let's just be clear and honest and serious that you probably also wouldn't have been so insecure about people asking Salah if he owned a stove, okay? Now, when it comes to your comment about you've only ever made one Motel 6 comment, I just have to laugh. I really do. One best, you've only ever made one Motel 6 comment ever. Girl, you know you're lying. You know you're lying. But first, let me just say, I probably wouldn't have even brought that up, but I'm glad you did because it's such an excellent point that, like, you have a history of criticizing the homes of people that you don't like unprovoked. Sometimes a little provoked, but also plenty of times unprovoked. And in addition to the many times you've criticized FFG for living in a Motel 6, let's also talk about the times you've said that Yaba lived in a trailer, and you've also referred to the places that other people have lived as the ghetto, which is a rude-ass term, a classist term, and in some cases, a racist term. So if we're really gonna talk about people who are home-shaming, which is just like the most ludicrous thing I've ever heard, okay? The most ludicrous thing is to, like, say somebody is home-shaming somebody, whatever, okay? But if you really want to talk about home-shaming, take a look in the fucking mirror, Chantal, because the only one doing any kind of home-shaming on this quarter of the internet is you, bestie. I do have to say that I find it interesting that you take time in this, and I know it's in reference actually to FFG and not me, or at least that's how I've interpreted this community post. But I do find it interesting that you want to invoke your abusive relationship with Nader and also severe depression on a post that's about me when I'm one of the few people who do reactions to you that just totally stopped covering your abusive relationship with Nader, because for me, I was uncomfortable. I took it far more seriously than I think some people did, and I just didn't feel great about covering it on my channel. I didn't feel like I had the nuance, I didn't feel like I had the expertise, and I didn't think I could articulate well enough how to, you know, appropriately discuss that with tact and kindness. And so I didn't, because I thought the kindest thing I could do in that situation is to just let you live your life over there and do whatever you had to do in that situation. So yeah, I don't know why you felt the need to bring that up on a post about me, because I have been nothing but respectful of that situation and have wished you nothing but the best to get out of that situation. And so I'm gonna need you to kindly take several seats before coming for me in regards to anything related to that. Now, the rest of that post, you know, when it comes to talking about my stunning prison-bred personality or my voice or whatever it might be, you're welcome to say whatever the fuck you want to say about that, bestie. Listen, your prison-bred comment didn't hurt me when you made it over 4 years ago, and it certainly isn't hurting me today, bestie. Wait, that's not it. We're gonna eat a little snack. This is gonna be like a combo you know, mukbang and reaction videos. So consider yourselves lucky. I got some good old bread because that is like my personality. Am I right? Wow, this, okay, so I got this bread from 7-Eleven and she is stale. So perfect prison bread, wonderful. Everything we needed and more. Now look how far my channel has come since you initially made that prison bread comment about me, and look how far yours has come. Look where your channel has gone since you made that comment, and look at mine, okay? Not that this is Amber Lynn's comparison race, you know. I'm not trying to compare myself to other YouTubers, but I'm just saying, I guess I am trying to compare just a little bit, but I'm just saying, bestie, this prison bread personality has gotten me far. If anything, the only thing I'm heard about really is that you couldn't come up with something more original or creative in the past 4 years of your life to say about me. Like, I think one time you said that I had the personality of gluten-free crackers, which was mildly more funny and entertaining, but you really haven't been able to find anything else. And that's not to mention, it was only 2 months ago in September that homegirl was doing a whole ass live stream where she was saying that my personality made me different than other reaction channels because, you know, I brought something else to the table.
If you that's the problem with reaction channels like that tailor their content all entirely to one person. It's a niche thing. And when that niche fades, it's gone.
Mm-hmm. It's gone.
It depends. Somebody like Zachary Michael is more fortunate because he's more of a personality. He's become, if you're a personality person, you don't have to worry as much about what niche of content you have, right? Because people will watch you do whatever because it's you, this person doing this version of this.
Thank you,
they want to
Misty.
see you do this. They want to see you do this. They want to see how you would handle this because everyone's unique and everyone's different, right? So now channels like Monty or...
So I guess that's only the case when I'm not being critical of you or house shaming you, huh? Huh, bestie? And the thing about her comebacks for me is that she has to rely on talking about things about me as a person, like my alleged boring personality or my voice, because she can't sit back and refute any of the actual critical feedback, criticism, etc. that I've given her. She has no ability to really focus in on any good comeback to those things. That's factual, at least. So she has to resort, much like she does to other people, in criticizing things about how I sound that I can't help. I can't help that I sound like this. Or things about my personality, or things like me as a person, just like she criticizes all these people in the past about the way they look, whoever, whatever. But I think one thing to note is that I didn't come for her looks, for how her voice sounded, for any of those things. Well, let's be clear. I did call her a bald bigot.
Not a joke, just a fact.
But yeah, that's just a fact. That's just a fact. She is both bald and also a bigot. But outside of that, you know, I don't have to resort to those things. But speaking of her being a bald bigot, can we discuss how the one thing I've said, well, there was one time where she responded to me about some like gay stuff on Twitter, but outside of that, can we talk about how the one thing after like a couple years of her basically not acknowledging me on her community tab, after all this time, she finally dedicates a community tab post to respond to something I had to say about her, and it was about home shaming. Not about all the times that I've called her out for being a bigot. Not for the times where I called her out for being ableist, for saying the R slur, for being anti-Semitic, for being racist, for being homophobic, transphobic. None of those things. Heaven forbid she respond to any of those things. No, none of those things are the line that says to Foodie Booty, I gotta respond to this, clear my name. No, it's the house shaming. That's the line she's drawing in the sand to say, enough is enough, Zachary Michael! For crying out loud. And if you're not familiar with all of those things, I will once again link a fun playlist called Examples of Chantal Being Mean. And I would say the first like quarter to a third of that playlist is really just her being mean, not necessarily a bigot. But the whole entire rest of it, mostly examples of her being a bigot, which is why I don't entirely just change it to examples of Chantal being a bigot, because some of it's not her being a bigot, you know? But, but you get my point. So feel free to go check out that playlist. I'll link it in the description and probably a pinned comment down below. So yeah, Miss Foodie Booty, Chantal Marie, Chantal Show, The Daily Chantal, has just really been enjoying wedded bliss with Sala. And I love that for her. I'm so glad that, you know, I can be present in her mind even when she is enjoying matrimony with her husband. Beautiful, beautiful. If I might offer a suggestion, you know what I'm about to do once I get done filming and editing and posting this video? I'm probably gonna live stream, and then I'm gonna go enjoy my fucking night. I'm gonna have a nice dinner. I'm gonna play some video games. I'm gonna watch some television shows, and then I'm gonna get a good night's rest, not thinking the fuck about Chantal. So Chantal, I would encourage you to do the same for me, for FFG, for Charlie Gold, for Yabba Doodle Doo, for Just Breezin', for all of the people. I would say, just get some rest and enjoy getting dicked down by your husband if that's something that's actually happening, you know? Like, I would really love that for you. I would. I would. Anyways, that's all I have time for today. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I'll be back tomorrow with an Amberlynn Reid reaction. I put it off so we could film all of this today. But if you're brand new to my channel and you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe down below. Hit the bell button so you get a notification every single time I post a new video. Make sure to leave me a comment, hit like, click share, and follow me on all my social media, including Twitch, including my gaming channel, including checking out my merch, including TikTok. And above all else, I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!